Hi guys, in this video we are going to go through the 11 benefits of meditation, and if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you the one secret to be truly successful with your meditation practice. So as I said, there are 11 benefits. You may turn around and drop in the comments, there's also this one, there's also this one. There are other things that you can feel or experience, but these are the 11, I say the 11 core ones. So generally speaking, these are what everybody does feel or can feel. Okay, now let's kick it straight off. I do have my notes to make sure I don't forget one, and of course I will drop you that secret at the end, so stay on. Now the first one is probably the most obvious. We'll kick off here, and that's it calms the mind. So calms or clears the mind. Now, we all find there's times where minds get really, really, really busy. We think about things we have to do, what project we're working on, and everything, right? I try and express that in words, but it's literally a case of, you know what it's like. We're literally thinking pillar to post about what we've got to do. And it can feel really, really crazy in our own heads. Now, I say this also from experience because I am dyslexic and on the ADHD line. And if anybody has this, you know there's times where you ultimately feel like your brain is just running 100 miles an hour, okay? You may find this in everyday lives. Everybody feels it at some point. But when we learn to meditate, we take on a sense of calmness, okay? So we allow these thoughts to flow unrestricted, key unrestricted, and we allow them to sort of let go, yeah? So we take on the sense of calm and a sense of peace, which is really, really good for our productivity and our focus. And that leads me on to number two, and that's our ability to focus. So when it comes down to working on a project, maybe we're studying or you're trying to prepare for a meeting, the ability to focus and actually be fully present, to actually know what you're doing. I know that sounds quite obvious, but when our minds get so busy, sometimes it can be hard to even think through enough. You know, the times where you're writing a sentence, you keep crossing it out, and yeah, those sorts of things. And our ability to focus is actually boosted by meditation practice. That leads me on to point three. So you might argue that point two and point three are the same, if not very similar, and that's our attention span. Now, they are different. So our ability to focus is the sort of fine tuning on the details of what we're doing. Okay, so we're getting into the project or whatever it is. Our attention span is the duration. Okay, so we may find actually, generally speaking, the two will go hand in hand. So if we're losing the ability to focus, we'll find our attention spans going as well. Or we may find we're really focused for about 10 minutes and then we're done. Okay, so you may find one or the other. Okay, now we may find we're able to focus, just not on so much detail. We may find we lose the detail, or we got the detail but no attention. Okay, there's so many different ways those two could sit together. All right, and that connects to number three, because when we're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, then of course this busy chatter, this lack of focus, inability to maintain attention spans, it all kind of amalgamates together in this big yucky mess. Okay, so when we meditate, we're allowing this mess to calm down and take on a sense of quietness. Okay, it's much, much nicer when it's a bit quieter. We can focus and we can be actually productive with our time. Now, that then connects on to number five, which is anxiety. Okay, so generally speaking, when we feel, if anyone feels stressed at some point, then you know you can feel a little anxious. Now, stress is a part of life. It's not something to avoid and run away from. It's just managing it to safe levels. So levels that actually boost your motivation and drive you rather than limit and inhibit you. Well, the same said about anxiety, because there's times where we get those butterflies, the excitement, those nerves, and it can actually inspire us. But only to a small amount. We only want a little bit because we don't want to feel overwhelmed and like we can't handle it. All right. So anxiety can be sort of irregular flutter of the heartbeat, or it could be just feeling a little shaky, a little nervous, or even, like I said, there's butterflies in the stomach. Meditation can help ease all of them. And if we have a daily practice, then of course we may find when we feel anxious, it's that lower level. So we're just sensing it, but we're Not feeling overwhelmed. So there's the first 5, guys. So like I said, stay tuned. There's 11, and there is that secret at the end. Now, those 5 connect nicely onto number 6, and that's our emotional well-being. Now, when we feel good emotionally, is obviously we can think clearer, we're more productive, we can communicate more clearly. So all these things sort of happen, right? Now, when we meditate, we actually allow ourselves to feel good. Okay, it actually, like the sense of calmness, that sense of peace that we sort of welcome in, even it's just a small amount, we're bringing this into our bodies. So we're allowing ourselves to feel good. And of course, when we feel good, it allows ourselves to express this. So think about it. When you're in a good state, how often are you like to say to your partner or a friend, I love you, I think you're amazing? Okay, compare that to when you feel shit. Okay, we all have shit days. Let's just face it. And you're there going, my phone's gone off, really. Why are you calling me? I don't want you to call me. Let alone, do you want someone to go, I love you, give me a hug? Okay, so generally speaking, when we meditate regularly, the ability to actually express positive emotions is much easier. And I can tell you now, personally, the more I've meditated and put it as part of my daily practice, the easier it's been to say to people I care about, just say, I love you. And it's no big deal. It's just because I think they're great. Okay. We put too much pressure on a word or something like that. And it's a feeling. If we feel good about ourselves, we've got more to give. Okay. So we can get this really, really good balance. Now, that goes on to the next one. So number 7 is about self-awareness. Okay. So when we're aware of ourselves, we're aware of our actions and our behaviors that not only impact on us, but also impact on others. So, for example, me telling you all now, I love you. Okay. Some of you will be like, what? Hell? And some will be like, hell, she loves me. Great. This is awesome. Okay. When we are self-aware, we'll become aware of the fact what we say and what we do goes to others, okay, and how they might respond. So like I said, I know straight up some people will not respond as well as others, and that's absolutely fine. But it's a bigger challenge when it comes into our everyday lives, when we're doing this with colleagues, with our partner, with friends, with family. So people who we are directly impacting their lives to, and in a close way. So when we've got this increased self-awareness, we're much more aware of how things are being responded, okay? And then, of course, we can respond accordingly. Now, that brings me on to the physical side, okay? Because like when we get stressed, we start to feel physical symptoms. So we start to feel, I said, the agitation. You can't see from there. I'm actually going boom, boom, boom like this on my heart. Okay, so we start to feel anxious, okay? You may start to shake, headaches, okay? These are physical symptoms when our mind and body is under stress, okay? Or anxiety and things like this. Now, when we start to take care of it, meditation, then of course we can actually reduce these symptoms. Okay, so with that, we can lower blood pressure. There's one. We can also lower cholesterol, which looks after our heart health. Number 2, we can also boost our immune system. Number 3, so our immune system is our natural body's strength. Okay, it's our ability to fight off disease and infection. It doesn't mean to say that you'll never get sick. It just means your ability to fight off anything is much higher. So you're less likely to get things and less severe, more likely to get them less severe, and of course, recover quicker. So it improves all of that much, much easier. Okay. But again, this also goes on to long life. Okay. As we age, of course, we get more susceptible to things. If we're healthy, we have a meditative practice, it's less physically demanding than, say, lifting weights or something, but it can give us all these physical benefits. It also helps reduce age-related memory loss. Want to make sure I got that right. Because as we age, our minds, they forget things. And I could tell you now, right? My nan's 98 and she sits there and goes, I didn't even expect to live this long. At 98, she's turning around and saying, I didn't expect. Right? I think she's absolutely awesome, okay? Her nickname is Speedy because she's always walking around with her Zimmer frame. She doesn't stop. But I actually put that down to the fact she used to swim regularly. a couple of times a week. She used to dance regularly. She does her crosswords. So she's always had something that makes her physically taken care of, but also her mind as well. Okay. So she finds sitting doing a crossword really relaxing. Okay. I find it really stressful. As I said, I'm dyslexic. I find doing Sudokus and playing numbers or even colouring in relaxing. I like colours and patterns and things like this. That to me is relaxing. That to her has always been stressful. Okay. So again, it's finding what works for you. Now, let me just check. I haven't missed one. Oh, yep, we've got them all. Skimming down my list. Okay, so that's all 11. Quick recap. Clears the mind, improves ability to focus, boosts attention span, manages stress, eases anxiety, cares for your emotional well-being, enhances our self-awareness. It also gives the physical benefits of lower blood pressure, lower cholesterol levels, and a boosted immune system. And of course, number 11, no, I'm not saying that's number 11. The immune system, blood pressure and cholesterol put as one. It's the age-related memory loss, because number 11 is our ability to fight addictions. Now, I left this one till last for a reason, because in our lives, many of us have become addicted to something, okay? It may be cigarettes, it may be smoking, it may be sex, it may be exercise, it may be a type of food, it may be sugar, okay? There's been a point in our lives we've had an unhealthy relationship with something that is either healthy or unhealthy. Okay, so like exercise, for example, is a healthy habit, but you can have an unhealthy relationship with it. Okay, now when we start to meditate, we start breaking these addictions. Okay, we break down the needs, because either we're restricting the thoughts that are flowing, we're letting them flow, but we're not answering to them, or we're changing how our body's responding. Now, as somebody who has been addicted, I used to drink a lot. And when I say a lot, I used to go out with 2 bottles of wine already drunk and then still drink all night. Okay. And I used to drink 6 or 7 nights a week, at least a bottle of wine. At one point, I had a serious alcohol addiction. Okay. There's times I smoked. There's times I throw myself so much into exercise. I can tell you now, whatever your addiction is, you need to break those bonds. Now, some of that is change behaviors and letting go of those needs. Some of that is the calm in the mind, because you're breaking those mental relationships, the mental connections, and you're changing your thought process towards them. So anybody who's experiencing any level of addiction to anything, then some form of meditation practice is recommended. But of course, if you will stay tuned, good job, because I'm going to give you the one secret. Yes, the one secret to being successful in your meditation practice. But first, I'm going to give you an extra bonus, and that is if the one person who should not exercise, should not engage in a meditative practice. Now, the reason I said there's one type of person who shouldn't, and that's because they have psychiatric problems or conditions, okay, which are obviously mental health related, and of course, obviously, you're already creating stories in their own heads. Now, I am not a medical practitioner, okay, so if you have experienced something mental health illness or something in the past, and you have sought medical advice that advised you to undergo a meditative practice, then please follow that advice. However, if you have never done it and you have been diagnosed medically with a psychiatric condition, then of course I would seek the medical advice first. Okay, but the secret to being successful. So, because most of us don't have mental health problems to the extreme that we cannot meditate. Now, the key is, ready? Finding the technique that works for you. I will be doing a video on this, okay, because there are so many different techniques. If you're like me, when I first started, I thought it was about a bit lying quiet and being still, and that was it. Or the alternative was some chanting and something I did not feel comfortable doing. Okay, I can tell you now, meditation is so much wider. Okay, they say the recommendation is about 40 to 45 minutes a day, but yes, that is a lot if you're just meditating for the first time, and that it can be very, very uncomfortable. So that's not where we begin. But like I said, I'm going to do an entire video on the different techniques. of meditation. I'm also going to do additional videos on how to be successful with those techniques. And also, if you are a beginner and you are starting out meditating for the first time, I will also be doing a video. There is one coming of how to meditate for the first time. Okay. And not if that's not enough, to top it off, if you go onto my channel, there is an entire playlist of meditations. Each week I am dropping guided meditations for roughly 5 to 10 minutes, so only a short period of your day, to help you find the mental strength that you deserve to get the best out of this year. So guys, if you've got any thoughts, comments, or questions, I'm sure you do, drop them in the comments below. If not, hit that subscribe to make sure you do not miss any of these upcoming videos. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.